let's see your place.
Follow me. This is the door of my studio. There's a chicken coop.
Got a chicken coop over here. Cool. For inspiration.
Yeah. For comic relief.
Here we go. And this is where it all goes down. Yeah.
This is my humble studio where I do my.
So yeah. So here we are with Louie Metz. He's showing us our the work, the pieces, all the different pieces that he's got.
This is where I spend most of my time.
And here, so this is one of your latest pieces. Now this is much smaller.
This is the latest, yeah.
This is much smaller than some of the other pieces.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you went smaller?
There's no reason. Just quick. They're quicker. They're well, it's less of a commitment. It's like sometimes you just want to do something. You just have an idea that you don't want to necessarily blow lots of time on, but you want to just crank it out and just enjoy it for what it is. And this was actually when I was driving down Marmion. It was about 6 a.m. and I just thought, this is there's some beauty in this apartment building and the way the light looks and the morning light. Right before the sun comes up, and I just I just wanted to do my interpretation of very early morning in Highland Park on Marmion Way. And so, yeah, I don't feel like it necessarily requires anything more than 9 by 12 at this point.
That's 9 inches by 12 inches. Yeah. That's the size.
I kind of do a lot of paintings like that, especially this year. This year was just a year of doing lots of smaller work and lots of very immediate stuff. I've done more paintings this year than I ever have in my life. I've done this is actually my 57th painting of the year.
Wow.
That's just a very
okay. So now this is like sort of your wall, your latest body of work.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll kind of put up my newest stuff, and then I'll kind of look at older stuff and just kind of see how it all gels. But there's nothing here I think that's older than maybe that's from before 2017. This is all relatively new work, and actually most of it of everything you can see here is actually from this year, from 2020. Most of it. This is 2018.
Now, is that a piece? Now, there's a lot of naked ladies in these shots. What's the drive for that? What is it?
Well,
any specific thing? Any reason?
It's like Tevye said, tradition.
Okay.
Tradition. That's all about the tradition. It's like it's a catalyst. The nude is a catalyst for me. It's like grist for the mill. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Something to.
Do you like? And I noticed on the bottom right there, there's a piece that's got like an old Winnebago, or something. Yeah. What's that about? It's like kind of looks like it's on the side of a hill, maybe near an on-ramp.
Yeah. It's around here. It's actually from. This is Highland Park. It's an on-ramp near Glacel Park.
Okay.
And it's just something you see. It's part of the urban landscape these days.
Right. Is that like the homeless, a homeless
people
guy?
Who are not 100% homeless, but they're
semi-homeless.
Semi-homeless, I guess. If you're living in a Winnebago and not by choice, then you're semi-homeless, I guess, because you're on the road. And
yeah.
So it's a very common sight. That there's actually about 2 or 3 others further down.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of a sign of the times.
And this one was like the most put together. I didn't want it to be too ramshackle. But a few of the other ones were actually a little more weather beaten. This one looked a little sturdier and together, like the guy had it.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, the nude for me, it's probably from most artists. It's like it's great subject matter for painting. You know what I mean? That's why people paint the nude. I think it's just like you can do so much with it. You know, you have, you know, the form, of course. It's a way to display your skill. It's a way to express yourself through paint, with paint. Like, you know, you can really, you know, stretch out, like with visual phenomena, you know, and the way paint is a very expressive material,
right?
To convey visual phenomena. Okay, and the nude, you know, it's packed. You know,
right? There's a lot of stuff,
loaded, you
right?
know,
Okay, so this one, so you've been using palette knives. Let me get a close-up of that real quick to see what that is. So that's a palette knife, okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of palette knifing, you know. This, you know, maybe here and there with this one, but also I've for these kind of impasto, these thick paintings, I've also been using these coarser brushes that I used to use.
Yeah, because if you look closely at it, it's very, you know? Yeah, it's very like...
Yeah, this has a lot of palette knifing.
Impressionism.
You know, you can see it.
Yeah.
You know, all this background is palette knifed. The rocks. You know, I think, but it's a combination. You know, like I'll do some brushing, and then I'll do a little palette knifing. This and that, you know, and I hit it with this is palette.
Yeah, it's cool because when you come up close, you see it's like little chunks. Yeah. But when you go farther away from it, then it starts to look much more, you know, like a realistic type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting how that is.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I guess that's part of the fun of it, right?
Yeah.
It's part of the phenomenon of painting. You know, if you're painting, you're always breaking stuff down. You know, you're breaking. Right. But I mean,
so
it's
what was
like
the drive for this one with the skull? It's kind of sort of the
it's very
life and death, or
of course. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's very obvious. You know, it's just kind of like it's a very kind of straightforward piece. You know, it's very loaded. The imagery is very loaded. She's kind of like, you know, when you're born, the minute you're born, you're dying.
Right.
You know, you're right on the road to death.
Right.
That's kind of like part of the, you know, the drama of it all, right?
Yeah. So you like
to? Yeah, I really appreciated that pose, and
yeah, that's cool.
She really went.
Very cool.
She's a great model. Her name's Mara. She's also an artist. She's a sculptor.
Nice. And what about all this musical stuff? I see you got some bass going on here.
I play a little bit.
You've been in a couple bands.
More than others. Yeah, I was in an old band. Maybe you heard of it a long time ago.
What was it called?
Mad Society.
Oh, okay, yeah. That old school punk band? Right. I heard about it. Cool. And then this is your books.
Way back.
Yeah, that's an old band. What was that,
40 years ago.
1980?
Yeah. We made some noise.